Yes! Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here for video number 2 on your Friday night, September the 19th, 2025. Thank you all for watching video number 2, this time on the home of the Gilmore, well, the former home of the Gilmore Chronicles, now known as the evil and dark and scary Shadow's Lair 2.0. And this is episode number 85 of the Shadow's Lair 2.0 series. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like the video and subscribe right now to this channel. My other channels down below in the Shadow's Lair. So, subscribe to them right now. Like now. Right now. Not then. Now. When will it be now? Soon. But soon it will be now. So, but subscribe to my channels all down below. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Show your love support there as well. Leave a comment on the videos on any one of my respective channels. If you like, with all these stupid comments, bye-bye, so long, farewell to you. You will get sent to the Shadow Realm, and Satan and Ozzy will eat your soul. So, don't do it, unless you want to. Then, well, it's your loss. That's that. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, you're pretty much SOL. And you know what that means by now. And if you don't know, now you know. Because you got to look it up. Because I'm not going to tell you. And that's that. And if you're brand new to the channel, or my other channels as well, if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab that cold one, which I'll have in a little bit. For SmackDown, as we got SmackDown coming up in 25 minutes. We got that. But sit back, relax, grab yourself your own cold one, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. You like it? Great. You don't? Get out. Go fuck yourself. And go to your dead channel or your whatever channel you have and do your shit there. Because I care less. But thank you for the free view anyway, asshole. And that's that. Let me move on with that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday, gotta get down on Friday, something for the weekend. Alright, the final weekend of summer, we had a nice little last final taste of summer today, and yesterday. Today was 85. Too bad we won't be getting 80s for a while. As tomorrow and Sunday, I think a little bit of Monday, going to be a little bit chilly, a little bit fall/spring-like. As we get a little early taste of fall, as fall begins on Monday afternoon. And it's going to rain a little bit on Tuesday. And then pretty much be around, I think the highest is going to be is around 75, 76 degrees. Up and down next week and into next weekend, the final weekend of September. And the first full weekend of fall. So we'll see that. So bye-bye to summer, because the summer is now about to be officially over as of Sunday. And that's that. So hope you had a great summer, everybody. And if you didn't, well, too bad. Because now you won't have the summer until next June. And then that's pretty much it. But we're gonna start fall. Hopefully nothing big happens weather-wise, and we just roll on into to Christmas, and then we start the horrible season of winter. And hopefully here in the Northeast we don't have a bad winter, and wherever you might be. Well, except if you're living in the West, not the West Coast, but the Midwest, then you got problems. But hopefully here in the Northeast area, hopefully we won't have a bad winter. I haven't had a really bad winter in a few years, so, but they're saying above average temperatures. I don't know about the weather, but if it's above average, that means it's probably not going to get lower than 20 as a high temperature. Might have some days it gets like bone chilling cold, but hopefully not. So, I know it's September, but you might want to think about putting on get that space heater out, and if your boiler is out, think about replacing it or fixing it by now. If you shut it off for the summer, not to turn on the AC for a while, unless you're in the West Coast and in Phoenix, but or in Florida too, southern Florida, not so much like Orlando or anything like that. But just get ready for the fall and the winter and the holiday season coming up quick. Before you blink, it'll be Christmas. And level 49 too, so Alright, guys, we got SmackDown coming your way in a little bit. Should be a great show. Beastie Brock Lesnar will start the show with a live interview with Maggle Cole and I believe Corey Slave as well. So we'll see what happens with that. And we're going to close the show with Cody, that bitch Cody, and Babucho, Drew McIntyre, as is. Tonight is the official go-home show before tomorrow night's ESPN debut on the ESPN app. WrestlePalooza. And also we got AEW All Out Toronto starting at 3 p.m. on whatever you watch that from. Triller or pay-per-view. Whatever pay-per-view outlet you have. That's that. But All Out's going to get swallowed up tomorrow. I might watch a little bit of it. There's a couple of matches I want to see, but really my main focus is on WrestlePalooza tomorrow. See how it is and see how, it does on the ESPN app and all that shit. And if you have to pay $30 for that, fuck you! But we get that. But we're not going to talk, this video, we're not going to talk about WrestlePalooza. We'll do the predictions for that early tomorrow before we get to All Out. But episode 85, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your, speaking of All Out, it is time for your AEW All Out Toronto predictions. AEW All Out Toronto comes your way tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. where the pre-show starts at 2 or 1 or whatever. Well, 2 basically. So it comes your way from the Scotiabank Arena in beautiful Toronto, Ontario, Canada. One of the good cities in Canada. Next to Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Everywhere else besides Saskatoon and suck a dick. Because Canada sucks, except for those 4 cities. Other than that, we don't care about Montreal. Fuck Montreal. And fuck Canada for that matter too. No, I'm kidding. But I know I have some great fans in Canada, but, I love them all, but, it is what it is. Alright, so it should be a great show tomorrow. And, up next, we got Wrestle Dream. That's October the 18th. The week after Crown Jewel. So Crown Jewel's on the 11th. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the day after that is Bound for Glory from TNA, which should be epic. So that weekend's going to be great. So pretty much this weekend starts a big, long, pretty much almost month of pay-per-views every frickin' weekend. It's going to be insane. Lots of content coming your way regarding all that with the shows and the news and the predictions and the reviews and all that other shit. So please stay tuned for the next 4 or 5 weeks because it's going to be crazy. As shit. That's that. Alright, we will move on with that. Alright, you can watch AEW All Out on Amazon Prime too, don't forget. Alright, we move on. Alright, so I'm going to run down the card and I forgot to put my sound off. Sorry about that. Doo-doo-doo. Alright, I gotta get this done quicker because my battery is draining, so that's it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the predictions for All Out. We're gonna start with the pre-show. As always, from the Wikipedia page, I'm taking all this. I'm going from pretty much bottom to the top with some of the matches, but we're gonna start with the pre-show. We're gonna 8-woman tornado tag team tailgate brawl. That's a mouthful. That's what she said. Alright, so we got Team Holly Cameron. She teams up with my 4th amazingly hot Asian wife, Mina Shirakawa, Queen Amanada, the one and only, and the resident fun girl, Widow Nightingale. Bam! Alright, they take on the Mega Sis, Megan Bayne, and her bestie, Penelope Ford, and the Triangle of Madness. That's the beautiful Julia Hart and Sky Blue. I was going to say Thekla, but Thekla's in a different match. We'll talk about that later. This is going to be a brawl with 8 hot chicks. And the referee, good luck with the referee there. But anyway, it's going to be a brawl, I assume, in the parking lot. I mean, tailgate means parking lot, per se, but... So you could say Anarchy in the Arena, the women's version, but... Whatever. All eight women hate each other. I mean, we saw Queen Aminata and Dekla beat the fuck out of each other on Collision / Dynamite September to Dismember. Basically September to Forget. That show sucked. And then everybody fought on Collision, so we got all that. I'm gonna go with Team Willow Nightingale to get the win. I have nothing else to say. Just 8 women beating the fuck out of each other, and I love it. Violence! Yeah, gotta love it. Alright, after that, we get to Danny Garcia, now part of the Death Riders. He's taking on 1/3 of the AEW Trios Champions, the man from Japan, the legendary Katsunori Shibata! Garcia calling out Shibata, and then Samoa Joe, on Shibata's behalf, answered the call, because Shibata can't do it by himself, because he has to use the speaking spell. We're going 1984 here. I mean, come on. Get with the times, Shibata. Not use Siri or use Google Translate or whatever that shit is. Well, maybe you could use that instead of speaking spell, but I digress. I'm going to go with Danny Garcia to pick up the win, because he just joined the Death Riders, and kind of getting the advice from Jon Moxley. But it should be a great match, but I'm going to go with Garcia to pick up the victory, and we got that. Speaking of Shibata's other boys, the other half of the AEW Trios Champions, they're going to be in a meaningless, garbage tag team match. So we got Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Will Hobbs. They take on the Workhorsemen of Say His Name and He Appears. I believe in Anthony Henry and J.D. Drake. Did I say more who wins this match? If you think I'm going to pick the Workhorsemen, you're crazy. You don't know me that well. So I'm going to go with the opposite. Easily pick up this victory. Even though this match should not even happen. But it's on the pre-show. It's on the pre-show, at least. But this really should have been an email. And if Rampage was still around, it really should be on Collision. That nobody will care about. So, meaningless filler match. And we got that. Let me move on. Alright, then we're going to go to the main show. Where we got 10 matches. Yeah, because it's a 13-match card. So we got 10 matches on the main show. Ouch. Alright, we're going to start off with the actual start of the show. The dream match between Hey Kids, it's Edge, or Threshold, and Christian! Taking on FTR, Cash, Got a Clock, Wheeler, and Dax the Axe Harwood with that idiot Stokely Hathaway at ringside. This is going to be a great dream match. We saw what happened at September to Dismember, where Christian basically broke Dax Harwood's nose. They had a big brawl. But it's in Toronto. There is no way FTR is going to win this match. I could see it, but I don't think they're going to do Edge and Christian wrong in their hometown. So I think I'm going to go with Edge and Christian to pick up the victory and see where they go from there. Maybe a tag team title run near the end of the year, maybe before the end of the year, or maybe into next year. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But Edge and Christian should get the win. We move on. And that's pretty much it. Alright, then we got a trios tag team match. We got the Hurt Syndicate. They hurt people. They hurt people. Like the prophecy does, we hurt people too. In more ways than one. But more violently. But I digress. Anyway, so we got Bobby Lashley, Shelton Baby, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP taking on Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. Or as I call them, the Gates of... And that's Bishop Quan! I do not Quan! And Toa Liona. We saw Bobby Lashley beat Toa Liona on Dynamite this past Wednesday. And then everybody, basically the Hurt Business beat the fuck out of Bishop Quan and Ricochet. I mean, MVP knocked Ricochet the fuck out. So I'm going to go with the Hurt Syndicate to get the win here. I mean, pretty much writes itself. But I mean, we'll see what happens with that. We move on. Alright, then we got, for the AEW TBS title, we got the ladies. We're going to go to 9 Belts Monet, and that's Mercedes Monet, the CEO, chicken noodle soup with something on the side. And she's got some nice sides, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so she's gonna take on, her name is Rio, and she dances on my lap. And then when she's done, she goes and takes a nap. Yeah! Woohoo! Alright, so Mercedes Moné versus Rio. We saw what happened on Dynamite, where, Rio beat Robin Renegade in a meaningless match. Robin got all pissy, attacked Rio from behind, and Mercedes just dancing with her title around Rio's prone body. As much as I would love to have Rio win the TBS title, there is no way. There's no way. I don't know who beats Mercedes at this point, other than Athena at this point. Or maybe Decla when she turns face, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But I'm going to go with Mercedes to retain. Self-explanatory. Rio's going to go back to Japan. Just go back to Japan. Because she has like 1 or 2 matches a year. Just nice to see her, but, you know. But is there any chance she's going to win? Probably not. Well, we got that. Alright, let's save some of the big matches for last. But up next we got, for the unified title, a triple threat match with the champion Okada. That's Gooch got Okada taking on Takeshita, taking on Mascara Dorada, who got in this stupid mini tournament, which I don't know why they had a tournament to have 3 guys face off against, 2 other guys face off against Okada, when it should have been Okada and Takeshita one-on-one. So, now that Mascara Dorada's in this match, I think he takes the pin. So I'm going to go with Okada to retain. I would love that Takeshita to win the belt, but he should win it on his own instead of in a 3-way. He should win it in a regular singles match. It makes no sense to have Mascara Dorada, a great wrestler, but he should not be in this match. Not in the match. Get out. So I'm going to go with, because Gooch got Okada to retain. Then the actual one-on-one match will happen at Wrestle Dream. And I think Takeshita will win it there. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright, then we got Big Cass taking on, well, hopefully, Eddie Kingston coming back after 18 months with that horrible leg injury he had thanks to Gabriel Kidd. Had a long rehab. But is he going to be there? More than likely he will. And I think he's going to beat the fuck out of Big Cass. So I'm going to go with Eddie Kingston to get the victory there. Let me move on. Alright, now we're going to get to the big matches on the card. I'm going to go with a 4-way ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team titles. This is going to be insane. We got the champs Brodito of Brody King, and the Ring of Honor champion Bandito. They take on the Young Bucks. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, and Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Heath Chaselo and Josh Alexander of the Don Callis family. This is, like I said, it's going to be insane. Lots of big, scary spots. But I think in the end, I would not be surprised that they give the belts back to the Bucks because they won that $500,000 match. Even though there was 2 other guys with them, with that. Shit. I'm looking at the Met game too, and the Mets were up 1-0, and then Sprout gives up 2 fucking runs to the Nationals. Ugh. So Nationals were up 2-1, I think, in the 3rd inning. Yeah, 3rd inning. So, yeah. So, Mets are a little bit of trouble, 2-1. Magic number is 8. But the Reds are losing. That's a good thing, because they're facing the Cubs. We gotta worry about Arizona, who plays, Philly tonight. So, hopefully the Phillies do something tonight. They help us, but... So, if the Mets lose, and Arizona loses, the Mets' magic number goes down to 7. Even if they lost. Because they got 8 games left, and it's still a 2-game lead. And if the Reds lose, that becomes 3. Then you gotta worry about San Fran and the Dodgers. Because San Fran is 3 back. If they win, it becomes 2. Still, the Mets' magic number would still be 8. That way. But, so, magic number might go down and might stay at 8 after tonight. But we'll see. With 8 to play, obviously. But the Mets own the tiebreaker against the Giants if it was tied. So, I don't know about Arizona. Reds, I think the Reds own the tiebreaker, I think. But, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But that's not here for now. We got that. Moving on. Yeah, so, like I said, with the AEW World Tag Team titles, I'm going to go with the Young Bucks to win. I wouldn't be surprised if I give it to them, because they're on a roll lately. So we'll see what happens with that. Let me move on. Alright, we're going to go to a tables and tacks match. This match is going to be bloody as fuck. Next to the coffin match between Darby and Moxley. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, tables and tacks, TNT match between Mark Briscoe, the Funky Chicken, reach for the sky, Jay Briscoe, bang, we got that. He takes on Maxwell Jacob Front Knocker. This is going to be a bloody brawl. I hope Mark wins, but, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. Okay. Moving on with that. So yeah, I'm going to go with Mark Briscoe to beat MJF in a bloody as fuck tables and tacks match. That's that. Fatal 4-way match for the AEW Women's Championship. We got Timeless Toni Storm, darling! What's up? She takes on Jamie Hayter, otherwise known as Daphne from Scooby-Doo, Chris Cake Statlander, and the Spider Lady Thekla. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to go with Toni Storm to retain, and that's that. Then we got Darby and Moxley in a coffin match, which I don't know if it's going to end the show. I'm thinking Hangman and Kyle Fletcher will end the show. Darby and Moxley in a coffin match is going to be barbaric. Darby's never lost a coffin match, so I don't think he's going to lose here. So I'm going to go with Darby to win again. That's right, guys, I'm going to win. Just for you, because I'm so fucking emo. Can't do the full thing, because I don't have much power left on my battery. Anyway, I got that. Alright, then we get to the big one. Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher for the AEW World title. If any member of the Don Callis family interfere, Fletcher gets stripped of the title, of the TNT title. I'm going with the Hangman to win, and that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So that's my predictions. Leave yours down below, and that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I gotta go. And until next time, peace!